Hi dolls, welcome back to my channel, my spooky babes. I have missed you so much. It has been far too long since I've uploaded a Freaky Friday video. I started this series back in 2019. I didn't expect so many people to love it, but I still to this day have many of you messaging me asking me when I'm going to bring back another Freaky Friday. Freaky Fridays are back. I know I keep saying that, but they're back. Like, for real. This is the look for today. I am doing a poison ivy look. I do want to say I did have contacts on last week when I wore this outfit. However, I did not get new solution for the contacts. So I think like the solution's contaminated. I don't want to put those contacts in my eye. But here is a photo of how it looked with the contacts. It looked amazing. I was obsessed. This is my poison ivy outfit. I was poison ivy back in 2012, but I was also 30 pounds lighter, and the underwear that I glued the leaves on kind of made it look like a diaper. So this look is different. I feel like it's more elevated. It's better. I love it. It's more fine-tuned. But I am so excited to come back. Please be sure to interact with this video, like, comment down below. It really lets me know that you do want these videos to keep coming back, so make sure to always engage because these videos do take a lot of work. But if I feel like people aren't really enjoying them, then I'm not going to want to spend the time to film such a long video. So please just let me know if you enjoy it. And in honor of bringing back Freaky Fridays, I also wanted to bring my #1 supporter for Freaky Fridays, Jay.
Hello.
It's been a while since he's been in any of my videos, so I thought it would be fun if we just go back and forth. He'll read some stories and I will read some stories, just to bring back some old YouTube channel vibes. So without further ado, we are going to get started with these stories and this look. Okay, so this first story that we have is from Sophia, and it is titled The Devil. And this is a really short one, so I wanted to get a short story first, just so we can kind of ease into all the other stories. And this is from Sophia, and it is titled The Devil. Hey Ashley, my name is Sophia. I'm from Canada. I love your Freaky Friday stories. I had several paranormal experiences in my life. A year ago, I started feeling an uneasy feeling at night. I wanted to scream for help, but I just couldn't. I felt frozen. I remember a woman sitting next to me late at night telling me she's my guardian angel and to lay down on her lap. So I did. Once I laid down, she told me to cover my eyes. So I covered my eyes. All of a sudden, I felt her hands squeezing my neck and I couldn't breathe. I began to pray and the woman disappeared. The next morning, I noticed the red marks all over my neck. Until this day, I am still terrified. I don't know who she was and why she was trying to hurt me. I'm sorry the story is so long. I have many more stories. Keep up the good work. Love you.
Crazy.
Yeah, that reminds me of when I used to live with my grandparents. In my room, there would always be like a man standing over my bed, and this always happened almost every night. He never touched me, thank God, but as soon as I moved out of that house, never seen him
Went away.
again. Yeah.
Disappeared.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So that's what that reminds me of. I used to just throw the blankets over my head and act like I didn't see him, thinking maybe I could fool him and he would leave me alone.
He's like, no, I know you saw me.
I know.
It reminds me of like when we were younger and my parents lived in Mexico. When my dad would go to the kitchen, because he would leave to work early in the morning, like 4 or 5 in the morning, he always saw a lady by the fridge in the kitchen, and she was always floating. My dad was always like, he would see her, like stare at her, and then look down and be like, she's floating. What the heck? So my dad would freak out and like take off. Man, same thing.
I wonder why so many things happen in Mexico. Probably a lot of burial grounds.
That, yeah, and probably like spirituality is probably strong out there.
Actually, yeah,
Stronger out
that's
there.
true.
Yeah.
That's true. Thank you so much, Sophia, for sharing that story. I would be fighting, punching the air if I were you.
So this story is from Adriana. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. And this one's called The Freaky Friday Story. So it says, hello Ashley. My name is Adriana. I absolutely love your videos. Thank you. I have 2 stories I would like to share. Feel free to choose whichever story you'd like to share if you do not have time to read both. Hope you enjoy them. So this one's called My Baby Boy. My dog had recently passed away from diabetes. So sorry. It was such a devastating loss for me because my dog was everything to me. Whenever I need to do laundry, I have to walk to my backyard to get to my garage, where the laundry machine is located. We have 2 steps as soon as you exit into the backyard, and since my dirty bin was heavy, I left it on the first step so that I can close the exit door. As I turn around to keep walking towards the garage, I saw my beautiful baby boy sitting in our yard, glowing. It was such a fast movement that I did not realize I saw him until I grabbed my bin and entered my garage. Although I am still wondering if it was just my mind playing games, I can clearly picture him glowing. I may think my mind was playing games, but I know my baby was there as a way to say, I miss you, mommy.
My baby, come here.
Your baby's right here in the corner.
He's so sad.
He's coming.
Oh, my baby, you better never leave me. Never leave me.
I'm sure it was your baby boy. I'm 100% certain it was him.
Baby boy was definitely your
definitely was there watching.
Your soulmate, your little guardian angel.
That's a good story. I like that one.
Oh, that's sweet.
Hit the heart.
Yeah, breaks up the scary stories.
Yeah, but it was good. I really like that one.
Oh,
Baba. Buddy, we're working.
He's acknowledging that he likes this story too.
Okay, so this one is called La Señora. My grandma has been suffering from Alzheimer's since I was 12 years old. I was about 16 years old when my mom decided to bring my grandma over to my house to enjoy some tacos. Our kitchen includes the exit door to our backyard. My grandma was sitting at the kitchen table facing our backyard. My mom was finishing up some tacos and I was enjoying the tacos when my grandma yelled, "Look, there's a lady trying to get in. There's a lady trying to get in. Look." My mom kept yelling, "Mom, there is nothing. Relax, Mom. You are scaring your granddaughters." She continued to yell that there was a lady trying to enter our home and then suddenly stopped. My grandma only speaks Spanish, so this story was told in English for easier read. I can still remember how scared she was when she yelled, and it is a story I will never forget. Thank you, Ashley, for reading my stories. I will continue to share some more in the future. Hope you enjoyed them.
All I know is I never want to see someone crawling in through my window. That is creepy. I'm so sorry to hear about your grandma.
But even then, like, our grandparents are like, they've actually experienced it, or they're seeing something, you know?
Yeah, definitely. It reminds me of a couple of days before my grandfather was going to pass, maybe like a week. He started seeing things, and we were all in the living room, and he started like reaching out. So I believe that he was seeing spirits, people that were coming to take him home, like his mom or
People
family members. Yeah. I don't know why that lady was trying to break in though. That's creepy. Thank you so much, Adriana, for sharing your stories.
Yes, thank you.
This next one is from Emily, and it's titled Unexplainable Weirdness. Hi girlie, love your videos and your entire vibe. You're such a sweetheart, and I hope you and Jay are doing well.
Doing really good.
I don't want to waste any of your time, so I have 2 short stories that my parents told me whenever my mom and I were living at my dad's. Both of these stories happened whenever my parents were drinking a little and having a bonfire, but they both, to this day, can still remember what exactly happened. One of the stories was when it was a quiet night at my dad's place. He lives on a dead-end street on a rocky road where only oil field people come by to check on the tanks several blocks down. Other than the tanks, there's dense forests all around. This story starts where it's just my mom and dad having a bonfire, having a chill time, and out of nowhere, my dog starts barking as loud as she can. Both my parents shine their flashlight towards the street where my dog was barking at. They see a tall, at least 7 foot tall, figure of someone dressed in a hooded black cloak coming down from the street. Hell no. They couldn't hear anything other than the fire crackling. Usually, if a car or someone comes down the street, you could hear the crunch of dirt and rocks under their feet or tires. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. It was dead silent. Anubis is getting scared.
It's okay, Baba.
As if they were floating above the street. My dad runs into the house and grabs his gun while my mom is outside still with her flashlight on the figure. She yells at my dad to hurry. She runs into the house for a quick second to get my dad. They run back out, running onto the street. They shine their flashlights all around the street and the field across the street. Nothing was there.
Damn.
It was gone. They were only inside the house for a split second. It would have taken the figure a few minutes to get to the corner where a bright street light flashed onto. So where'd it go?
Dang.
Yeah, that's scary. I feel like it was an alien.
Maybe 7 feet.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, they're big ones.
And moving fast like that.
Yeah.
I think it was an alien. Now that we have all the alien stories coming out.
I know, right? If anything, we're probably the creatures and they're the real humans.
Yeah. We are awful people.
We are awful people.
Another story that creeped me out whenever my mom and dad was having another bonfire late at night, still drinking and having a chill time. We used to have a 5-foot, 6-foot bush a couple feet away from the fire pit. They both were just chatting it up until my dog started growling towards the bush. Where the bush was, there was a forest right behind it. It was during fall time, so we could hear the crunching of leaves or the swaying of tall grass. My dog continues to growl. Both my parents stare at the bush while the light from the fire is shining against the bush. Out of nowhere, a box-shaped head.
What the heck?
Ew. As if someone legit took a box and poked 2 eyes and a mouth into it. It peeked outside the bush.
What the heck?
Ugh.
Oh, shit.
Both my parents and my dog freak out. They shine the flashlight on the bush and the box-shaped person. But the box ducks back into the bush. They yell to get out of here. 20 minutes later or so, it pops its head back out on the opposite side of the bush. My mom screams for my dad, saying it's back. My dad gets up and runs to the back of the bush. Nothing was there.
Aliens.
He shook the entire bush tremendously and still nothing was there. He tells my mom that it was nothing and that they were just seeing things. Another 20 minutes go by and the box head pops its head out again. My dad shoots his gun and nothing but rounds into the bush. And yet nothing was there. Nothing hopped out, nothing left the bush, nothing was there. And to this day, my parents still can't fully comprehend what happened during those 2 incidents.
Weird box shape, that's crazy.
Yeah. A lot of weird, unexplainable things happen at my dad's. I've personally had weird things happen to me where I've seen duendes, UFOs, there we go.
Aliens.
Heard scary growls where growls shouldn't have happened in the house. Shadows, just weird stuff that I really don't know how to explain. I can't even explain what my parents seen. Were they just drinking a little too much? I'm saying this because I got major goosebumps, but my parents can still recall detail by detail with what happened on those nights. I don't know if they're just trying to scare me, but my parents aren't the types to joke around with paranormal things, so I don't know, but whatever it was, it definitely scared me.
It's crazy.
I think aliens. I think
aliens. Well, I wonder where it's at. I wonder what part of the country it's at there.
I don't know, but that's 2 stories already, so maybe one of them has been abducted before.
Maybe.
And that's why they keep seeing them.
Maybe.
Not trying to freak you out.
Without knowing.
But that's what it sounds like to me.
Because, yeah, square head, that's a box head.
Yeah, it's creepy.
That's nuts.
Thank you so much, Emily, for sharing your story.
Alright, so this story is from Angie. It says, "Hi there, doll. I'm Angie, and I've watched you since I first discovered about the fantastic world of pinups 3 years ago. With the first video watching of you being how to do pinup hair, which I loved. But then I discovered your Freaky Friday videos, which I also love to watch a while. I'm either drawing or doing my schoolwork. So this might be a small story since at the moment I can't think of any other what maybe paranormal things have happened to me. But here we go. When I was in the summer about to go into the 4th grade, my grandparents were just moving into their new house, which wasn't extremely far from their old condo they lived in. But one day, me and my brothers and my mom had to spend the night while helping with bringing stuff to the house. And it would usually take an hour to get back to my house, and since we had to help the next day, we just stayed. But once it was late enough, my mom and my brothers brought blankets and pillows for us. Since all my best friends had came, we had to all sleep on the floor since the couches and blow-up mattresses were still at my grandparents' old house. Soon after, everyone fell asleep and everything was normal until I remember feeling something touching me while I slept. So I semi-woke up since it had bugged me, but at first I thought it was either my brothers messing with me or my grandpa, and so I pretend to turn in my sleep to see, and both of my brothers were sleeping next to me, including my mom. But I still tried not to freak out and thought maybe it was just my grandpa. And then I felt whatever was grabbing my feet and pulling them, sort of, so I had to put my head up and saw this dark figure staring at me with almost darkish gray eyes stare at me while grabbing my feet. And I still somehow thought it was my grandpa until I heard snoring from the other room, which I knew was my grandpa's. As soon as I had realized, I had quickly pulled my feet away and went to a ball form and pretended to fall asleep until I heard the door slam, which soon woke my brothers up and my mom leaving the room being frozen cold, with them being confused at why it had been shut, but didn't think much of it. Then I peeked out of the blanket and looked at the time, and it was 3:10 a.m. And since that was the time I had just recovered the world of ghosts and entities, it was hard going to sleep soon after. And since that, I always wake up at 3 a.m. no matter what time I had fallen asleep. And with the room feeling cold, and even though it has been 70 years since that had occurred, it still bugs me to this day, and I always sleep in a ball form just to make sure that never happened again. Well, I hope you like this. Even though it was pretty short, it may not be that scary to have happened, but as I was writing this, it still bugs me that it had happened, but I hope it wasn't too boring. And if you read this, I hope you have an amazing day and stay being you.
No, definitely not boring.
Not boring.
What do you think that figure was?
I wonder what had happened in that house. Sometimes I think, what if when they say, oh, you're a kid, oh, don't te corren los pies, te van a jalar las patas, it's like, what if they're doing that because they think it's somebody they know and they're trying to get their attention?
No, I think they're just being a-holes and trying to get your
sleep. No, I mean, because I feel like when you're in that world, it's like you can't really think.
Yes, you can.
No, so
your
whatever.
brain doesn't shut off.
I mean, you're you don't. So it's like they don't pull your feet to scare you. They're pulling your feet to get your attention. Be like, hey, I'm right here. But they don't see that you don't see them, you know?
Do not pull my feet. I love that story. Thank you so much, Angie, for sharing.
Story.
This next one is from Haley, and it's titled The Time I Have to Go to the Hospital Because of a Ghost. Hey doll, my name is Haley, and I've been watching your videos a hot minute, and I hope that you like these two stories. So this is a story about the time I had to go to the hospital because of a ghost. So me and my boyfriend were hanging out, and we were kind of bored, and he told me that there was an old jail that was abandoned, and of course I said yes because I really like scary shit. So he called 5 of his friends because no girls wanted to go but me. So we all got into my friend's car, me on my boyfriend's lap and 2 next to us, 1 on the lap and 1 up front. It was about 12 at night when we got there, and we all parked in as soon as you walk in. We couldn't help but notice the smell. It smelled like someone died, but we brushed it off. I and my boyfriend went one way and the others went the other way. After about 2 hours, we met back up and I felt something pull my hair. I thought it was my boyfriend, so I asked him to stop. He questioned me and he said, I never touched your hair. So I got a little angry when it happened again and turned to them and yelled, which one of you ass faces are doing this?
Ass faces.
And a low voice said clear as day in my ear, me. And it grabbed my hair and threw me somewhere, I don't know where, but somewhere far from my boyfriend and his friends. They all come running over to me. Mind you, there was broken glass everywhere, and the next thing I knew, I was being pulled by my hair again. I was screaming and calling for it to stop. When I looked down, then there was a glass in my thigh.
Dang.
From when it threw me. I started crying and then I started to pray. And as soon as I said, Father, light in heaven, I stopped moving after that. I passed out from pain and woke up in the hospital the next day. My boyfriend next to me. This story still scares the crap out of me every time.
That's crazy.
Those are like some evil
That's
spirits.
Nuts. It's like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah.
Where are you people going? That is nuts.
That's way too scary. Story 2. My friend is haunted. So this was on a school night. I decided to drive to a friend's house because she was going through a breakup. When I got there and walked in, and I didn't feel right but brushed it off. So I walked to her room and gave her a hug and gifts that I got her. We walked to the basement, and right before I go down there, I started shaking but brushed it off again. So we got down there and we started watching movies. After a little, we heard knocking at the door. I looked at her and she looked at me, and I asked if someone else was coming over. She said no, so I pulled out my pocket knife and went up the stairs and opened the door. No one was there. So I walked out a little, then I walked back inside. When I got back downstairs, my friend was looking at the back room and asked me if I saw that. I looked at her and saw what she said. The tall, dark me in the back room, and me being the brave one, walked back there and said, you better get the F out of here before I call the effing cops. I was really pissed off. After not hearing anything, I walked back out, and my friend was standing in the corner just staring at me, having no expression. I was starting to get scared, so I walked away and his eyes followed me when she starts walking toward me. Her eyes following me and she starts walking towards me. I got super scared and slammed the door, and she started screaming and yelling. I call her brother, and he gets there, and she was trying to open the door that I was holding. I was shaking. Her brother just thought we were pranking him. As soon as he did, she finally opened the door. I screamed and ran up to her room, and I locked myself in there and barricaded the door and window. She finally stopped, and I fell asleep the next morning. I walked out, and she was sleeping on the couch. I slap her to wake her up. I look at her. She looks at me. I ask, why the F did you do that yesterday? And she stares at me with a questioning face and said, what are you talking about? And I never went back to the house. Yep, she got possessed.
Possessed.
Or abducted by aliens, and the aliens were controlling her.
Maybe it is aliens. Maybe it is aliens.
Just kidding.
Maybe all this time we think it's people being possessed, but they're actually just being abducted by aliens.
It all occurring in the basement reminds me of the movie Deliver Us from Evil. Deliverance. Deliver Us from Evil. Yeah, the one with Andre Day and Glenn Close. Well, that one. The basement scene. That was really creepy. So that's exactly what I was imagining when you were telling that story. And no thank you. I never want to see anything like that.
When I think of aliens, I just think of the movie Signs.
Oh, yeah.
With Mel Gibson.
Yeah, Signs, screw Mel Gibson, but
and
yes.
Joaquin Phoenix.
So we are going to be getting into the last story. I wish I could keep going, but it's actually midnight right now, and I am getting really tired.
Don't worry, we're going to do more next week.
Yeah, no, but also we don't want this video to run an hour long.
Too long, yeah.
Yeah, because we need more content for other Freaky Friday videos.
Alright, so this one's from Marlene. This one's called Past Meeting the Future. So she says, hey doll, I just wanted to say I absolutely love you. Thank you. Due to the pandemic, I know everyone's depression has kicked into full gear.
Ain't that the truth?
So I started doing pinup styles again, which I've drawn inspiration from you. My customers and coworkers love it, and I love seeing Anubitos. I'm reading.
Yes.
My customers and coworkers love it, and I love seeing their smiles. I have a lot of stories to share, but I'll give you 2 short stories that are one and the same, but from 2 different people. I was born to a 14-year-old mother and a 17-year-old father. It was a bit of a crazy life, but the sad thing is, my dad was killed when I was only 3 months old. I'm so sorry to hear that. So I have never known him. When I was about 6 years old, I would hum a song that my mother or my dad's mom didn't play, because it was a song that my dad would sing to me when I was born. I Would Die For You by Prince. I didn't hear the actual song until I was in my teens, but there was one day I was with my Abba, my dad's mom, and I was humming the tune, and she came into the room and asked, how did I get the cologne? I was confused because I was so young I didn't know what she was talking about. Then she asked what song I was humming. I told her I wasn't sure, but I just seemed to hear it playing all the time at night when I was sleeping. She didn't say anything but teared up. When I was 14, I asked her about those times she mentioned the smell in the song. She finally showed me the song and explained the smell I could smell, but never knew what it was. It was the Adidas men's cologne my father always wore, and the song I heard and hum all the time was the song he would dance and sing to me when he was alive. She said it was his way to show me he was around. Now fast forward to when my daughter was 6, so about 11, 12 years later. I remember one day she was in her room playing with her toys, and I heard her talking to someone, and she started to hum. I didn't get her at first until I peeked in. She was facing the corner of her room where her chair and table princess set was, and she was smiling. When I stepped into the room, I got a whiff of Adidas cologne. I was a single mother and no men lived in my home. I also never owned cologne. I finally asked my daughter who she was talking to and what song she was humming, and she smiled and pointed to her table and said, Mommy, it's Papa. He taught me that song by Prince. Who is that? The Prince guy. I immediately started to cry. My daughter, let alone myself, have never met my father, and yet she said she learned it from Papa. I told Grandma about it that night, and she choked up on the phone, and she said he's watching over you, and anytime you get a whiff of cologne, this is his way of letting you know he's here.
Oh, that's a sweet one.
That's a good one. I'm about to cry. Jesus, that is a really good one.
I know. Have you? I'm curious to know. Have you seen him recently anymore? Because the story's long. The story is from first sent it in 2020. Oh my gosh.
Dang, this was from 2020.
Yeah, that one's from 2020. Oh my gosh. You're probably not even around watching these videos anymore.
Dang, what the heck?
So I'm curious to know if you've Cinnamon.
Or smelled cologne again.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry. Smelled the cologne.
Well, Marlene, if you're still around, please let us know. We would love to know more for her daughter to be humming it too.
That's
crazy.
Really sweet. That just means that he's acknowledging that he's around and so around your daughter as well. So that's incredibly sweet.
That's so crazy. Okay, so then she says, I'm sorry this was long. I have plenty of other stories. This one was more on the softer side, although I have scarier ones. I hope to hear this on your channel. I love you. P.S. Thank you for helping me be inspired to do pinup again. All my love to you and Jay, Marlene.
Oh,
thanks so much. I appreciate that. We appreciate it.
Yeah, Marlene, I seriously hope you're still here and watching. I love that story so much. And thank you so much for sharing. Alright, my spooky babes, that is it for this Freaky Friday. It has been a while. I hope it was worth the wait. I love you dolls so much. Let Jay know how we did.
Please go easy on me. It's been a while.
Did fabulous.
It's been a long time.
Thank you, baby, for sharing this with me.
For having me here. I always love being a guest on your show.
Once again, if you have any paranormal story or even alien stories, doesn't matter, to tell, send them over to freakyfridays2019 at gmail.com. Alright, my loves, I will see you soon and be safe.
Have fun, be safe.
Yes.
Take care of your kids.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.